Hello and welcome to lasa.africa. Today we'll be reviewing our Casa 5-tier book, the 5-tier bookcase of ours. We'll be going over the product assembly. Opening up the box, we'll find your instruction manual. And you'll find our 5 wooden bookshelves. Remove all excess packaging. Using it right now. The remainder of the wooden bookshelves. Moving onward, you'll find number 2 parts, the leg extensions, as part of the main frame. You'll also find 2 number 3 leg extensions as part of the main frame. You'll also have 1 number 4, which is the rear stabilizer as part of the main frame. Part number 4. You also get a bag full of all the screws required, as well as the height adjustable feet for the main frame. Last but not least, you should find 2 U-shaped number 1 main frame parts. So following our instruction manual, proceeding with step 1, we will be requiring to use our part number 1, our part number 2, part number 3, our B-type screws, 4 of them, and then last but not least, the adjustable foot raisers. That will be part D as per the instruction manual. We're also going to require part E, the Allen key tool, to assemble in this phase. Continuing onward to remove all the parts out of its plastic. One thing to note, the mounting plates will be with a threaded hole insert. This is where the screw part number B will be coming. Continuing on, we'll take part number 1 and part number 3. You'll see on the side that it needs to be mounted, both have 2 holes. So continue to insert one side. You'll see the hole will line up on the inner pipe, on the inner frame extension. We'll lay that down quickly. Then we'll grab one part number 2. So one part number 3, one part number 2 will be required. We'll continue to attach part number 2. So what you should be having at this point is a side frame, 1 of 2. So taking our Allen key tool, we will continue onward to fasten our B screw. We'll continue onward to do the opposite side of the frame. Bearing in mind our 2 mount holes line up with our 2 mounting holes there. So we should have 2 of these prepared. Last but not least, as part of step 1, we're going to attach our adjustable feet, little mounts that go on the main frames on each side. So we'll open that quickly. Alright. Take them out. Should have 4 of these, like such. You can begin by attaching them at the base. So you'll see there'll be some threaded fastenings there. You should have 2 parts with both feet inserted. And that will end our step 1 of the installation for our 5-tier book. For step 2, we'll be adding our shelves. Key notes to take note of. When installing the shelves in this step, there will be small holes on the one side of each frame that need to be on the same facing side when you assemble the shelves, as it may affect the assembly later on in step 3 when assembling the stabilizer. So we'll continue now. We'll be using 20 of our A screws, they're the long self-tapping screws, as well as 5 of part number 5, which are our wooden shelves. You'll see on the side of the shelves, we have pre-drilled holes on both sides, which will be slotting in downward like this when assembling, making use of our A screws. So we'll continue by making enough space, slotting it in, and inserting 1 screw on each opposing side first. So we'll begin by inserting right through. We'll proceed to insert into the board, twisting hand tight only. Okay. So using our Allen key tool, part E, we'll continue on now to tighten. Just bear in mind, over tightening may strip the wood, as it is a self-tapping screw and only needs to be hand tight. So only partially tighten and then finish up all shelves once all shelves are hand tight. step 2. At its complete phase, you'll see there'll be no gaps between the shelves and the frame. All of the screws are fastened into the countersunk holes here. Fasten just enough. Remember, do not over tighten. You can strip the shelves from the frame if you over tighten. You should have the configuration at this point like this. Next, we'll be moving on to adding the rear stabilizer, which you can see we'll be mounting in these 4 holes here. We'll be using those 4 holes to mount our rear stabilizer. It'll add some additional rigidity to keep the shelf from collapsing. We also have an optional step after that, step 4, but we'll get to that next. Alright, proceeding on to step 3 as previously mentioned. In step 3, we'll be installing our stabilizer. So you'll see it'll come with a domed nut and then an Allen key screw ready, pre-assembled. We'll have 4 mount holes here, which will be lining up to the supplied holes on the rear of the frame. So in this step, we'll be using our 4B screws and our Allen key tool. And we'll begin by inserting 1 on each opposing side, as with before, on the shelves. So you start with one side and you begin to insert 1 with the hand first, and the hand tight, and then we'll move to the opposite side, across here, taking another B screw, inserting, and hand tightening. And that finishes up our step 3 of our user manual. At this point, you'll have this product. Last but not least, we'll be moving on to step 4. Step 4 is an additional step in this process of assembly. Part C times 2. These are 2 Fisher plugs as well as ties, and again self-tapping screws. This is an optional step. It's an anti-tipping part. So what it's going to do for you is you will drill holes into the wall, insert your Fisher plug into the wall, and you're going to loop around one of the bands like such, one of these bands here. You will take it around one of the edges like such. You'll loop it around here like such. You will insert one of the self-tapping screws through the hole on each side. So through one and through the other, and you will then continue to mount it as if this would be your wall with the Fisher plug inserted. Once you've drilled the hole, you'll continue to tighten with a screwdriver at the rear, a Phillips screwdriver. This is only to prevent the shelf from tipping if you have many heavy items or a child or animals in the house. Thank you guys for watching. That is the end of our assembly video for our CASA 5-tier book. Visit us on lasa.africa for more products as well as more product video assemblies. Thank you.